What's going on, everybody? B. Scott, I'm here with
Godzilla.
And on today's show, we got your matchups heading in to week number 12, Thursday night. Obviously, the Thanksgiving Day feast. We had 3 games that were some were exciting, and obviously we had the Detroit Lions play the Chicago Bears. But we're going to look ahead to the Sunday football games for week number 12. So keep it locked and loaded right here at the first 4 downs.
You already know. Thanksgiving, the hiatus is over. Drop the logo.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. B. Scott, God here, and we're back for the matchup video heading into week number 12. We're going to be rolling through every single game, giving you our picks on the spreads and winners, losers, and some just points. So before we get to today's content, don't forget, like the video, subscribe, share, thumb bell, all that good stuff, and then comment. If you want a question about any football matchup, have any discrepancies, whatever, drop in the comment section. We'll be glad to give you our opinions and our advice. So let's start with the first matchup. Pittsburgh Steelers on the road against Cincinnati Bengals. Cincinnati minus 4.5 at home. The over-under is 45. Great divisional matchup in the AFC North. Cincinnati coming off a big win against the Las Vegas Raiders. The Pittsburgh Steelers, a little bit of a letdown against the Los Angeles Chargers. I really think if the defense was healthy, they probably would have won that game. Gave up the big play to Mike Williams at the end. But this is a game in which it's a tough divisional matchup. Pittsburgh's played very, very well for the most part, especially through this back half stretch of the season for them. They get a couple players on defense back. The Cincinnati Bengals, do I really think they're going to blow them out here? I mean, Bengals have showed up in spots. They blew out the Baltimore Ravens at home, so I'm torn here, the 4.5 spread, but I got to go with Pittsburgh. I think the game's just going to be close here. I think Pittsburgh can hang in the point spread and potentially pull this game out.
Yeah, it's a crazy game, divisional game. You look at Cincinnati and what they've done in the last 2 or 3 years, and they've built a roster just to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers, and we know that Cincinnati plays very good at home. I'm really torn here. You look at Joe Mixon, touchdown city for Joe Mixon lately. You know what I'm saying?
Course.
Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, all these guys are going to be here to play this game, but Pittsburgh is healthy on defense. I really want to give this game to Cincinnati, but I think I'm going to back Pittsburgh with the 4.5, especially in the 7-point teaser.
Yeah, of course. Pittsburgh's been playing pretty well. Deontay Johnson's been getting it done at a high rate. Chase Claypool playing through supposedly turf toe, but
Hey, and we seen vintage Ben last week.
Yeah, played very well. And Najee Harris, I mean, I think he would be the deciding factor in this game personally. He's played pretty well in the season.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with
Pittsburgh
Pittsburgh
earlier
Steelers.
in the season as well. So
Yeah, of course. 4.5, we both like it.
Yep.
So, and I think it's going to be under the 45. I think an under. I just don't think there's going to be a ton of points to be had here.
I think so too.
On to the next game, New York Jets on the road against Houston Texans. Houston at home, minus 2.5. The over-under at 44.5 here. And
with the first pick, man, either one of these teams could either go right here. I got this a coin flip. The Jets, if Mike White was playing, I would give the Jets the absolute win. Houston, I don't really know what's going to happen here. I know that Rex Burkhead has had 3 touchdowns in 4 games against the Jets with the New England Patriots. You know what I mean? He knows his team pretty well. Other than that, I really don't know. They got to worry about Brandon Cooks, maybe. Tyrod Taylor, maybe. But the Jets, they have nothing to lose here. I think they're going to go into Houston and win this game. I'm backing the Jets all day long.
Okay, I'll tell you right now, Elijah Moore's playing outstanding football. I want to say, Xavier Howard came out in the media and said, man, this guy's going to be trouble in the future, period, because he lit up the Miami Dolphins, no problem. But Zach Wilson, back from an injury, hasn't played great in the beginning of the season here, even before his injury. Showed some flashes. But the Houston defense played pretty well the last 2 weeks. I want to say they have 10 turnovers over the last 2 weeks. 4 interceptions against Ryan Tannehill last week. And they're at home. Tyrod's healthy. Looks decent. Didn't have to throw the ball a ton. Can Burkhead get it done? I guess maybe. The New York Jets give up tons and tons of yards and touchdowns to running backs.
They really do.
You know what I mean? They struggle against to stop the run. So I got to take Houston at home here at the minus 2.5. Would I be surprised if the Jets win? No. But I'm going to roll with the home team. I think the Texans are going to pull off this victory.
The rotten apples may smell even worse after this one with the first pick. I don't know, but I'm going to just back the Jets. Just got a feeling.
Okay, so on to the next matchup, we got Tampa Bay. On the road against the Indianapolis Colts, this game's going to be fun, especially to pick. Tampa Bay's minus 3.5, 53 over-under. And what could you say about the Colts? They're playing great football.
They are.
Carson Wentz obviously turned the ball over twice against Tennessee Titans and cost them that win. But Jonathan Taylor's playing outstanding football, out of this world. 5 touchdowns against Buffalo Bills, 4 on the ground, 1 through the air. Tampa Bay, they're playing okay, I guess. They're getting it done. The lackluster victories. Coming off a loss 2 weeks to the Washington football team. They beat up on a Giants team that has no clue what they're doing at all. I'm so torn here. I like the Colts in the plus 3.5, I think. Especially at home. I'll take the 3.5. Even if they don't pull out the victory, I think it's going to be a close game. The Colts are playing good football. Tampa Bay, yes, the defense is starting to pick it up a little bit, but it's still not. The secondary still having a little bit of trouble here. And like I said, and the Colts secondary has trouble on the season too. But I'm going to roll with the Colts at the plus 3.5.
Hey, man, it's quite simple for me. Brady, the GOAT, he's been doing this thing all season. Tampa Bay has not played very well on the road this year, you know what I mean? But against this Indianapolis Colts team, you look at Indianapolis, 2 games in terrible weather, in a monsoon and hurricane, they've come out a victor. This is in a dome, so I think that they have to rely on Jonathan Taylor, and you look at the linebacking core for Tampa Bay, Devin White, Levante David, these guys, they'll be able to slow down the 5 touchdowns yielded last week. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Taylor has that big of a day, and I think Tampa Bay just comes away with it against a terrible secondary in Indianapolis.
Okay. All right. I could see Tampa Bay pulling out this victory. I just think it's going to be very close. So we'll move to the next matchup that no one really cares about. It's the Atlanta Falcons on the road against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Atlanta's favored minus 2.5. The over-under is at 46. I couldn't tell you the over-under because it could be over, it could be under. It's going to be very close right there at the 46 in my opinion. Jacksonville's offense has struggled, especially as of late. Atlanta, I would say they've struggled mightily, but that would be an understatement. 3 total points in their last 8 quarters.
They're the Falcons
of football. Yeah, so I'm going to be honest. I have to roll with the Falcons here. The Falcons tend to play good. They come out and they play very well against bad teams. And then they just get destroyed by good teams. So it's like, I don't know what to make of the Falcons. But I'll tell you right now, if Cordell Patterson is there and available, I think they'll be able to do enough on offense to get it done. I know Jacksonville defense has played pretty well as of late, but that offense, I can't back the Jacksonville offense right now. So I'm going to roll with the Atlanta Falcons, and I'll take the 2.5.
Hard to back the Jacksonville Jaguars right now, but Atlanta has been terrible. You look at the last Thursday night game, they didn't get nothing going whatsoever.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You look at Jacksonville, outside of division games in San Francisco game last week, they have not allowed a 100-yard rushing performance. So, I think that even with Quadre Allison being out, and maybe Cordell Patterson being, they still not going to go over 100. Mike Davis absolute sucks. He's ass. That offense is ass. If they can get anything going in that offense, I think Jacksonville pulls this out. I'm going to take money line Jacksonville in this game.
Okay.
I'm taking a home dog.
Okay. I would never, ever lay $1 on this game, but we got to pick it for the winners, and I like Atlanta. So we're split on that one. Moving to the next matchup, Carolina on the road against the Miami Dolphins. Carolina's favored minus 2.5. The over-under at 42. And I don't even have one circled at this point because I was in between who I could pick. I think Miami at home plays pretty well. The defense has started to pick it up lately. And Carolina, yes, they have.
They said Tua plays better at Miami because it's like Hawaii.
Yeah, the weather is great. But Carolina, I don't know. They got some playmakers. Cam Newton played well last week, albeit it was a great matchup. Washington football team defense, terrible.
Cam different.
I understand. I'm just worried a little bit. You still got to remember, Cam Newton's only been back in the league for 3 weeks.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it's like, have we seen the best of Cam yet, or have we seen even a bad game yet? We haven't really. He played 8 snaps his first week, first start against the league's worst defense. And don't get me wrong, Miami's defense a few weeks ago was one of the worst. You know what I mean? But they've gotten a little bit healthier, especially the secondary. So I'm torn here. I like Carolina just because I think their defense is better. They played very well over the last 4 weeks. They've only allowed one quarterback to get over 150 passing yards on them, which was last week, Taylor Heineke. He only had 200 yards. But saying all that, I think I'm going to take the Carolina Panthers minus 2.5. Miami Dolphins, I can't trust Myles Gaskin at all. He's very inefficient, 3.5 yards per carry. I want to say he averages on the season. Jalen Waddle, Mike Gesicki, that's their only weapons. And I don't know. I think the Miami Dolphins can pull this one out, but I'm going to roll Carolina -2.5.
Here's the thing. I got questions. I got a lot of questions, but I think they lead to a win. Can they stop DJ Moore?
Possibly. Xavier Howard?
Can Carolina get to the 20 zone? Can they get to the red zone?
Yeah.
Can they stop Cam Newton in the red zone?
Maybe.
Can they stop Christian McCaffrey in the red zone?
Maybe.
I think all those answers are no. Carolina easy cover the 2.5. A field goal, get out of here. They're gonna beat Miami. Period.
Okay. So we're both on Carolina then at the -2.5. I'm not surprised. I just think Miami might pull out the upset being at home.
They might don't got it.
Okay. So we're on to the next matchup. Tennessee Titans on the road against New England Patriots. New England Patriots -7.5.
Here we go with this 7-point dog.
Over and under 43.5. And look, 3 straight weeks. Now it's 4 weeks because the Las Vegas Raiders pulled out the upset. 4 straight weeks. A 7-point dog has won outright. At least one. And usually it's been 2 or 3 the last 3 or 4 weeks. Could the Tennessee Titans pull this victory out? Now, this is my concern. Tennessee, no starting running backs. Deontay Foreman, been there, 3 weeks? Dontrell Hilliard, signed from the practice squad last week. Outside at the wide receiver position. No A.J. Brown, no Julio Jones. How can they score enough points, especially against a tough New England defense that's played pretty well, to hang in this game? And New England, they typically don't blow a lot of teams out other than the Jets.
They've been blowing teams out, though. It's crazy.
Well, 25-0. 25 points is a solid day, but it's not groundbreaking.
And they went to L.A. meet the Chargers. That's
true. I'm not sitting here. I don't think New England is going to lose this football game. I just think Tennessee is going to cover the spread. So I'm going to take Tennessee at the +7.5, and I think New England wins by 6 points. I got it under. I think it's going to be close, 23-17.
I'm looking at Tennessee and how they are structured. What they do is they run the ball a lot. They bring a lot of defenders up to the line of scrimmage, you know what I'm saying, on the defensive side because they've had Derrick Henry. They run a lot, I think, like number 1 in the league on first down. That's what they do. Thrive off the play action, RPOs, shit like that. Okay, Julio's not there. A.J. Brown is not there. Neither is Henry. What are they going to do? You know what I'm saying? It showed last week. I was really high on the Deontay Foreman Houston revenge game, but that didn't happen. What they end up doing is dropping Adrian Peterson, adding Golden Tate. So that's telling you they want to pass more. And I think that going into Foxborough against Belichick is known to take the best thing away from from your offense, period. He's going to do it. Best thing on that offense right now is Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think New England covers the 7.5, to be honest with you. But I'll probably buy a 6.5, and I'm going to take New England. I'm going to back New England.
Okay. I definitely think New England's going to pull the victory out. And this is one of these games, like, Tennessee should never win this football game, but what if? That's what it's been like the last 3 weeks.
I swear to God.
That's what I'm saying.
It seemed like the whole season's been like, no, they're not winning, but yes, they're going to win this game.
That's what I'm saying. So, don't get me wrong. New England should win this game handedly.
Yeah, that's really a straight-up bet. I would bet New England, but in a parlay, I would never bet this game at all.
Okay. So, on to the next bet. Philadelphia Eagles on the road against the New York Giants. Philly -3.5 on the road. 45.5 over-under. The New York Giants looking for a scapegoat. You fire Jason Garrett. Obviously, Joe Judge is not making it through he'll make it through the rest of the season. More than likely, he ain't making it through the offseason. I'd be shocked if he isn't fired literally like halfway through the last game of the season.
He's the only Patriot disciple that sucks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's not pretty. So
they do good on special teams, which he was a special teams coach. And lost the game on special teams a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
But other than that, we've seen nothing.
No, of course not. And then Philly, they've been playing great football.
Yeah.
They found a running game. It's been effective. Miles Sanders actually had more than 10 carries last week.
Shout out to Sirianni because it's like, at first we were like, you guys are calling bad plays. And then they figured out, we're a good running football team. And our defense could take plays away. They're not going to stop everybody, but they could take plays away and we could eat up this clock. This momentum with Philly is like ridiculous, and I love Philly to back the 3.5.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I really like Philly at the -3.5. The Giants just haven't showed me enough at all. They put up 10 measly points against Tampa Bay and didn't look pretty doing it.
Anything And you think about Tampa Bay's secondary has been like thrashed with injury, and they wasn't that good to begin with anyway. 12 targets to Kadarius Toney and finishes with the line that he finished with.
Yeah, 7 for 40.
Get out of here.
Kenny Galladay and, Darius Slayton, they got all these weapons, right? Evan Ingram. Daniel Jones, it's time to go. So anyway, we're both on Philly. Should win big. On to the next matchup, Los Angeles Chargers on the road against the Denver Broncos.
That's a hard one.
Chargers, -2.5. Over under at 48. I'm torn because so many teams have come out of the bye and played poorly. And Denver Broncos, at home, they play better at home. They have the advantage being in Mile High. Los Angeles Chargers, albeit coming off a great day, have really struggled in their last 4 or 5 games. They were reeling before they put up that. So, I'll be 100% honest. I'm going to take Denver at the 2.5. Maybe I buy a point for 3.5, and they win by a field goal. Denver is fully healthy. And really, when they traded Von Miller, we were worried. Von Miller wasn't game-breaking for them at that time anyway. But we were wondering, are they just giving it up on the season already? You know what I'm saying? Trading their pieces away. But their defense picked it up. Really stepped it up. And the secondaries played very well.
That's like the same thing saying that, the Browns traded or released Odell, and they came out and slapped them the next week. They won shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's the same thing. Like, Denver, I don't know what to do with Denver right now, or the Chargers at all. You know what I mean? It's like, I have been negative in the revenge games with Melvin Gordon against the Chargers, so I'm going to go to Chargers.
Okay.
I'm back 2.5 Chargers. That's it.
Okay.
That's all I can say about this matchup.
I'll tell you right now.
Games, I'm tired of them.
Melvin Gordon's going to have 100 yards and a touchdown against the Chargers, and I'm going to take Denver at the +2.5.
I'm terrible on these revenge games.
So on to the next matchup, we got the Los Angeles Rams on the road against the Green Bay Packers. Los Angeles Rams -1.5. 47 over under. I'm shocked it's only 47. It is in Lambeau. Maybe check the weather just to be safe. But Rams coming out of a bye. Get spanked by the San Francisco 49ers on Monday Night Football, then going to a bye. Green Bay Packers coming off a loss to the Vikings. Obviously Aaron Rodgers dealing with a fractured toe. Obviously it looked like it in the Minnesota game, considering he threw for 385 and 4 touchdowns, but it's really hurting them. It's really hampering them. Yeah. So I'm going to take the Rams here coming out of the bye at 1.5. I think they get back on track. They have a lot of playmakers on offense, period. The defense, they're acclimating Von Miller into there. Odell Beckham on the other side. So
that's a big thing.
I'm going to take the Rams here, but I wouldn't be surprised. This is really a pick 'em anyway. I think Green Bay could win, but I think the Rams need this win more than Green Bay.
Yeah, I think the Rams absolutely need this win. You're right on that. Green Bay, I don't know. I don't know if Green Bay is that team. We seen them through a stretch where they look absolutely phenomenal. And then we seen the COVID thing happen to Aaron Rodgers, and, they're not looking that good right now. Devontae Adams, what is he at on the season? Is he in the top 10 of receivers? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen also, like, they trying to bring Aaron Jones back on the MCL very early. It's not a good sign. You know what I mean? This LA Rams team, they're hungry, and I don't think they're going to fall down 3 games in a row. I just don't see that happening. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going back to LA Rams, period. I think they got enough with Darrell Henderson. Cooper Kupp been dogging it all season.
Yes.
Obviously, Matthew Stafford knows how to play in Green Bay. He's been doing it his whole career in the NFC North. And we got this outlier of a question of what Odell Beckham brings to this offense. I think we're going to see it on Sunday. I'm back in the LA Rams 1.5.
Okay. Yeah, Green Bay Packers also lost one of their best offensive linemen. So that's another thing that hurts that. So, yeah, we're both on the Rams there. On to the next matchup. We got San Francisco 49ers at home to the Minnesota Vikings, -3.5. 49 over under. And this is tough because the Vikings coming off a huge win. They've played tough in every single game this season. I want to say their largest margin of loss is 7 points to the Browns. I think they lost by 7, but they played all these games very close.
Yeah.
Within a field goal. And so if you wanted to back Minnesota at 3.5 in the hopes that they pull this victory out, because they can. And on top of that, if they win or if they lose just by a field goal, you're gonna get your money there. So I like the 49ers here to win at home. They're playing great. They need the win. Both these teams need the win, really. This is a playoff game. essentially, because they're both right around that 500 mark and really trying to make the playoff push.
Yeah, what are the Niners like 4-10 at home against the spread?
Yeah, it's. I'm gonna take the Niners. Are just playing great football. I think it's gonna be over too. I think there's gonna be a lot of points.
I know this podcast seems like, especially this season, that I'm a Niners hater, and I'm not. And I'm gonna tell you the reason why. Like, this is supposed to be really short and sweet, but the Niners, yes, they have great playmakers, but the cavalry behind it has all been hurt. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be weeks where we see the San Francisco 49ers show up in Santa Clara or whatever, but there's going to be times where we don't see them at all because this is not the team that we seen in 2019.
Are they Great America?
Yeah, they're at Great America, probably right there in the parking lot. You know what I'm saying? You look at Minnesota, that offense is fully healthy completely. The defense wasn't shit to begin with. You know what I'm saying? They was giving a lot of pressures, but not doing nothing with the pressures. I get that. Everson Griffin should obviously be out of this game. What he's had going on this week. You know what I mean? So where's that pressure going to come from? You got ball hawks, Kendricks, Harrison Smith to the running back position, which Elijah Mitchell is like in practice running the ball with his left hand. You know what I mean? That he may not go in this game. Jeff Wilson looks unexplosive at all.
Yep.
So, I mean, the running game, which they thrive off the play action to set it up, could not be there. You know what I mean? So, I think that's giving the defense a little bit. You know what I mean? Maybe you stop 2 or 3 drives, and that's cool. Or maybe just give up a field goal. But I don't think that offense is going to stop coming. You know what I mean? So, I'm a back Minnesota plus 3.5, especially if you tease it. And if you want to tease the over and under, you know what I'm saying, 7 points to 42 on the 49, that I like that as well.
Yeah, of course. I could totally see, especially the tease on the 42. It's going to go over that for sure. And then on top of that, Minnesota, I just don't know if they're going to be able to stop Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle. They're all three playing outstanding football at the moment. Jimmy G's playing great. Yes, they manufactured really the run game with Deebo Samuel last week. I want to say he had 8 or 9 rushes, almost 90 yards and a touchdown. So I think they'll be able to get it going here. Minnesota secondary, it isn't that great to me. So I'm going to roll with the Niners. I think the Niners are going to pull out the victory, but I wouldn't be surprised either way. I think Minnesota's a very strong football team.
I think the Niners can win this game.
On to the next matchup. Cleveland Browns, Sunday Night Football. On the road against Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore minus 3.5 at home.
Is Lamar sick?
46.5 over under. Hopefully not right now. I mean, the guy's sick every other week. So for me, I got a weird feeling that the Cleveland Browns are not going to win the football game, but pull it within 3. And this is what I'll say. Nick Chubb's healthy. Looked great last week. 130 yards and a touchdown, I want to say. Or something similar to that. He played very well. Kareem Hunt is back and should play in this matchup. Can the Baltimore Ravens slow down the running attack of the Cleveland Browns? Because the Baltimore Ravens' strength right now is stopping the run a little bit. But this is a divisional game.
They're number 2 in the league stopping the run.
That's okay. This is a divisional game.
88 yards a game.
This is a divisional game, and Cleveland knows how to thrive on play action pass and utilize the tight end position. And what does Baltimore struggle against? The tight ends. So, for me, I think Cleveland can hang in this game, possibly get up in this game. Baltimore, Lamar Jackson coming off injury. How healthy is he going to be? Is he going to be up to par and up to speed for the game? Missed last week, and obviously dealing with an illness. He probably wasn't working out.
Well, he missed last week because of an illness, not an injury.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? So, but I mean, you look at Lamar and look at the deficits that he's been in this season. 3.5 is nothing to cover for me. You know what I mean? I got to back Baltimore, period. You look at Baker, he's been looking like terrible. You know what I mean? And I've been a huge Baker backer, you know what I mean? But he don't look like he got it, you know what I'm saying? But the 3.5, I'm sorry. Like, if this was a spread at 10, at 14, 13 points, I would say, yeah, I'll probably back Cleveland. But in this one, no, I don't see that happening. You know what I mean? Given, though, last year, Cleveland did go into Baltimore and beat them. You know what I'm saying? So, there's validity in that. I think it's Rashard Bateman's season. I think this is going to be one that they don't see coming, and I'm going to take Baltimore.
Okay, I don't disagree there because I think Baltimore could and should win this game. Cleveland has not played well, but they've dealt with so many injuries. They haven't put that defense together. The secondary still struggled, and their defense plays well in spots, and especially in divisional games. So
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and take Cleveland at the plus 3.5. I just think
I can see
it's
it
going to
too,
be
though.
within a field goal.
I got you.
So now we got the Monday Night Football game, last matchup of the week, where the Seattle Seahawks are on the road against the Washington Football Team. Washington Football Team minus 1.5, the 46.5 over under. And this tells me to pick Washington, but at the end of the day, I think Seattle's going to win this game. Seattle needs to get back on track in the
Yeah, if they lose,
most
if
the
they lose
most
this one,
ways.
it's over.
You know what I'm saying? It's like Washington's in the right direction right now. The offense is humming. They're running the football effectively enough. They're sustaining long enough drives. You've seen it against Tampa Bay, 10-minute drive to close out that game, and really just kept Tom Brady chilling on the bench, just relaxing. But I got to go with the Seattle Seahawks, I think, at the plus 1.5, because I just think they need this game more. Seattle coming off back-to-back losses. Russell Wilson just does not look like he has it. This is the get-right game for the Seattle Seahawks because the Washington Football Team has the worst defense in football. We know this, and especially the worst secondary. And who's going to stop DK and Tyler Lockett? Who? You know what I mean? It's going to be a field day. I think the 46.5 over-under, it doesn't even make sense to me. Why is this game not at like 50, 51, 52? You know what I mean? I really think it's going to be over. I think Seattle, Russ gets back on top a little bit here, just with the cakewalk matchup. There's no way he cannot throw at least 2 touchdowns, if not 3 in this game. And I think DJ Dallas could be a little bit effective in the run game. Obviously, we know Alex Collins hasn't been. So I'm going to roll with the Seahawks here on the plus 1.5. Even though Washington Football Team's playing very well over the last few weeks, and especially on offense. Their offense is rounding into form as well. Get a couple player miracles back. Logan Thomas might be back in this one. So that helps. But I'm going to roll with Seattle.
Yeah, I'm looking at this like the Seattle-Pittsburgh game, It could be a close game. I really do. But the difference in this game is going to be Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson has looked like shit, let's be honest, over the last 2 weeks. I've been questioning, should Geno even be out there? So I'm, thinking, in my mind, if Geno was starting this game, do they win this game? Or will it be close like the Pittsburgh game? You know what I mean? So with Russ, that's a little bit of an upgrade. I think with Russ' record on Monday Night Football, I think there's going to be a little bit of proudness to live up to that. You know what I mean? So I am taking Seattle, period, all across the board with the over of 46.5, to be honest with you. I think this goes well over 46.5. Washington can't put up points. I'm looking at Taylor Heineke. I'm looking at McLaurin. They could probably get this thing done with Antonio Gibson. And like you said, Thomas might be back for this one. That might be a player that they don't see coming. But I think Washington can't put up points against Seattle's terrible defense. But I think that Seattle ultimately comes away with this win. They have to, or they're done.
Yeah, of course. And then there's bigger fish to fry than just wondering about what's going on next season. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
for a lot.
for me, we're both on the same thing. I think
We'll probably have that video for you soon.
I think Seattle just needs to win. So that's it. That's our matchup video heading into week number 12. Our picks through every single game and giving you our reasons why we pick the teams that we like. So don't forget, if you like the video, subscribe, share, thumb bell, all that good stuff, and then comment. You want to talk about any team or anything, football related, fantasy related, any information, drop in the comment section. We'll be glad to give you our opinions and our advice. So, once again, for the first 4 downs, it's been B. Scott,
Godzilla.
and we out.
Yeah. See you next week.